Okay, so I really wanted to touch on this quickly. Okay. Um, the other day I had a parent come visit me, and I was doing a little tour, like a quick tour. And then the parent paused and said, "Are you always, this open when it comes to showing people around and what you do and all that? Because I go to other places and they don't even say anything. It's like they're kind of hiding what they do and all that." So the parent was like, sometimes it gets so confusing when you're looking for a school for your child, like your preschooler. You're going everywhere, and then it's like you're not sure what to look out for, right? So it was like, okay, so maybe I could give a few tips as to what are some of the things that you need to look out for, right, as a parent looking for a school. And the first thing I would say is, immediately you enter a school, sometimes you just feel this comfort within you. It's called instinct, right? Your instinct tells you right away, I think I like here, right? So first of all, your mind tells you, this could be a good place. And there are some places immediately you enter, you feel, okay, I'm done. Can I just go, right? So if you enter a place and you feel, okay, I think this might be a good place, so let me explore, it's a good thing. And the next thing you want to do is find out if the school is open enough to answer any questions that you have. For instance, you walk into the school and it's like the proprietor or whoever is there tells you, you can't go to the classrooms. We don't show anybody the classrooms. That should be a red flag, right? Okay, during this COVID season, because of protocols, lots of protocols that we have to follow, it's a normal thing that a lot of schools would say, don't come to our premise when the children are there, right? Which is fine. But then in that case, then the school should give you an alternative arrangement, right? Should make an alternative arrangement. So if you can't come when the children are there, then there should be another day that you can come, or another time that you can come to view. So viewing is very, very important. If the school doesn't want you to view, then there's something wrong. That's also another red flag, right? And then another thing that you need to look out for is that, is the school willing to work with you? Because I always say schooling is a partnership. Schooling is never a one-sided way of educating a child, okay? Schooling is a partnership. So if the school is not prepared to enter into a partnership with you, the parent, then that's a red flag. Because in that case, the school is just going to regard you as a subject who just drops their child and goes, right? And wouldn't give you much information. And even if you need some information, they will try to hide it, or they wouldn't give it out and all that, right? So that is something else that you need to look out for. Is the school prepared to go into partnership with you? And then another thing you need to look out for is that, is the school willing to open up about their method of teaching, right? So you go to the school and everything is kind of being hidden, and they don't open up about how they go about maybe teaching writing. And then you're like, how do you go about teaching writing? And then they just look at you as if, oh, you're a parent, you don't need to know because we are the teachers and we just do the work. All you need to do is wait for us and your child will get there. That's a red flag, right? Because you, the parent, if the teachers work with you, you can also bring in some contribution to help your child in their learning, right? Because I always say, sometimes a parent would even say, oh, at home I do some coloring with my child and they really like the color pink. So right there, you know that, okay, if that child is someone who doesn't like coloring, maybe I can introduce that child to the color pink, maybe the pink crayon or the pink pencil, and then all you realize is that, boom, everything changes. That child who doesn't like to work in school all of a sudden is doing their work just because you listened to the parent and the parent made mention of the child's favorite color, and then you started working with the child from that angle, right? So it's always very important for parents to look for a school where they can also contribute, where their voice will be heard, right? Where whatever they say will not just be thrown to the dogs or thrown into the sea, where your voice matters. It's very, very important. Okay, so let's see what other point is there to discuss when you're looking for a school for your child. Another thing you need to look out for is whether the school allows other children and other parents to interact, right? If you're at school and you don't have anything to hide, there should be instances where parents can come together, where you have your PTA or whatever meetings here and there, where parents can meet each other and talk, and then also parent conferences where the teacher meets the parent one-on-one for them to discuss the child's progress and all that. So you want to make sure that all these are put in place, as you look for a school for your child. Sometimes you wouldn't get it all at one place, but at least if you can get most of it, then that should work, right? Yes. And then another thing is a school where something happens they don't want to admit. That's a red flag, because if they don't want to admit, then it means that they're trying to hide something, because it's always good to work together, right? And sometimes certain things happen and it's not like the parent is trying to blame the school. No, sometimes we can all work together and get to a common ground. So maybe a child probably did poo-poo at home and a bead came out in the poop. Okay, the first thing is, thank God it came out, right? But then the second thing is, how did it get into the child's tummy? So as a parent, you don't just go to the school and start bashing them. No, you go to the school and then you mention that, oh, my child came home and this is what I saw in the poop. If the school right away goes, oh, then we don't have anything to do with that, it's not from the school, that's a red flag, because then the school is kind of putting a shield. They don't want to work with you, right? But it's always good for the school to say, oh, really? We can look into that, because we teach them not to put beads in their mouth and all that. But then because we're not sure what happened, we'll get back to you, right? That's what you want to hear. So I'm just saying all these just to give you an idea. This is not the whole picture, but then at least you're looking for a school for your child. What do? You look out for all these pointers, and then if there is any red flag that has been raised, or even if I forgot to raise it, at least you have somewhere to start from, right? So these are the few things that I think you should look out for in a school, especially a preschool, right? You want somewhere that your child will be comfortable. You want somewhere that your child will be happy. You want somewhere that your child will be nurtured. You want somewhere that your child will form alliances. You don't want somewhere that your child will go and then they come back home timid. They come back home not exploring their potentials. They come back home not remembering what they learned. They come back home and whenever you mention school, they feel so sad. They cry. You want to look into that, right? So just observe. You enter a school, look at the interactions of the children, look at the interactions of the teachers with the children. All of those are pointers, right? All that will help you determine whether this is the right school for you or not. All right. So I think that's about it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.